Do you think you know your princes and princesses? It's time to prove it in this episode of Disney Jeopardy! After braving the frigid temperatures of Orlando, Florida last week, I am back indoors for this episode of Disney Jeopardy! Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri. And yes, 2,934 clues may have come and gone, but today is a brand new ballgame. And like I mentioned earlier, it is all about washing the windows. Yes, I am waving to all the peasants below. It's all about princes and princesses, of course. So let's take a look at the board and see the other categories you will be playing. But before we get to those four other categories, it does begin with princes and princesses. All 5 of the clues in this category were submitted by viewers like you. Always wanted to say that. It's like PBS. All right, let's move on. Second category you'll be playing, the other regal look. The third category is last lines of love. After that, it's your theme park category of the week, and that is Royal Adventures. And the fifth and final category, as voted on by the Club DJ members, is Meet the Parent. 40% of the vote goes to Meet the Parent. Coming in second, Unscramble the Name. In last place, an MTV-inspired Welcome to My Crib category, where I would have shown you someone's crib or house, and you would have told me which royal it belonged to. But we are not doing that. No, instead we are doing Meet the Parent. I will show you an image of a Disney character's parent, one of their parents. You have to tell me whose parent that is. Not who the character is in the image, but whose parent that is. All right, with that, it is now time for the easiest round of the game, the Cupcake Round. Each of these clues worth just 200 points each as we get this game started. It's princes and princesses for 2. The name Aladdin adopts after Genie turns him into a prince. Correct answer is Prince Ali Ababwa.
Who am I?
Prince Ali.
From?
Duh. From Broadway.
As we get set to move on to the other regal outfit, here's how it will work. It's very simple. I'll show you an image of a Disney character's outfit, perhaps not their signature outfit. You'll simply have to tell me which royal member it belongs to. Here we go. Started off pretty easy here in the Cupcake Round. Whose outfit is this? I know what a lot of you are thinking. No, the correct answer is not Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch. No, instead, it is Merida from Brave. And as we get ready to move on to last lines of love, I'll give you a rundown of how this works. I've taken some of the very last lines Disney royal characters have said to their significant others. Maybe it wasn't the very last line, but it was one of their last lines. You have to tell me which Disney character said the line. Here we go. First line is, at the cottage in the glen. Well, a little fun fact, this actually was the very last line Aurora says to Prince Philip before the end of the movie. And yes, it happens pretty close to the beginning of the movie. Aurora's got, like, no lines.
Oh, no! This evening!
Where?
At the cottage in the glen!
On to Royal Adventures for the first time. Before changing its name to Snow White's Enchanted Wish, this was the name of the Disneyland attraction based on the 1937 animated film. What is Snow White's Scary Adventures? And here comes Meet the Parent for the first time. Whose parent is this? We're going back to back, belly to belly with Snow White clues. That, of course, is the evil stepmother from Snow White. And by the way, if you can't get enough of Snow White, I did a Snow White category back in episode 85. I thought about doing it again for this episode in honor of the big release of the movie that has just been talked about way too much over the last 3 years, the Snow White live-action remake. Will I see it? I'll get around to it. If you have already seen it, let me know what you thought of it. We move on to the second round now. These clues are worth 400 points, so rightfully so, they're a little tougher. The Crown Princess of Avalor. Who is Elena? On to other looks now for the second time. Who wore this snazzy outfit? Surprised he could breathe in it. The correct answer is Prince Philip. Here comes the last lines of love for the second time. I don't even know your name. How will I find you? Who said it? Now, I will say a lot of these royal couples obviously conversed in their straight-to-VHS sequels or in some spin-off television shows, but I'm keeping things strictly to the original movies they were in. So who said this line in their original film to their significant other, or should I say soon-to-be significant other? It was Prince Charming to Cinderella.
Goodbye.
No, wait. Come back. Oh, please come back. I don't even know your name. How will I find you?
And believe it or not, yes, that also was the very last thing that Charming said to Cinderella before we see them get married. Things move pretty fast back in the day. Here comes Royal Adventures for 400. Guests can attempt to pull out and lift Excalibur in a Disneyland/Magic Kingdom experience themed to this Disney film. What is Sword in the Stone? Final clue of the 400s is another Meet the Parent. Whose parent is that? Now that is Sarabi, not Nala, so it is Simba's mom, not Kiara's mom. Correct answer is Simba.
Mom! Mom, you're messing up my mane.
We move on to the 600-point round now and continue boosting that difficulty. After attempting to meet with Jasmine, this prince storms off in a fury after his pants rip, exposing his heart-infused underwear. Hey, listen, I'm just saying maybe we should hear Prince Ahmed out because he wants to meet Jasmine, and next thing you know, he's getting bit in the rear end by a tiger and now has to walk through the palace with his underwear showing. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't that bad of a guy. I don't think many people deserve getting bit by a tiger unexpectedly. Here comes other looks for the third time. Who wore this? The correct answer, once again, is Snow White. Look, guys, if you think that's too much Snow White, there are only 13 official Disney princesses, according to princess.disney.com. So some princesses are going to get repeat clues here. And you know what? Snow White deserves it. She's the OG. Here comes Last Lines of Love for 6. It is you. All right, I'll be honest. I tried to throw you off by saying, it is you. But it's not how it is said in the movie. No, instead it is said like this.
It is you.
Time for a royal adventure of sorts. Let's check it out for 6. In Mickey's PhilharMagic, this princess places the sorcerer's hat on Donald's head. Two princesses appear in Mickey's PhilharMagic. Ariel is the first one. She does not place the sorcerer's hat on Donald's head. No, Jasmine does. Final clue of the 600-point round brings us to another parent. This is my parent. So what is my name? That is King Stefan, and he is the father of Aurora. It's time for the second hardest round of the game, the underrated 800-point round. Let's begin. Prince Harris is a sibling to this princess. He's not only a sibling to the princess, he's also a sibling to his brothers, Hubert and Hamish. Correct answer here is Merida.
I became a sister to 3 new brothers, the princes, Hamish, Hubert, and Harris.
Let's check out another regal look here. Who's rocking this? Correct answer is Anna from Frozen 2. It's when she's playing charades. Here comes Last Lines of Love for 8. No matter what happens, I'll always be with you forever. The correct answer once again brings us to princess.disney.com. We take a look at the 13 Disney princesses, the official ones, according to the Walt Disney Company. And Pocahontas is the one who says this. She says it to John Smith.
No matter what happens, I'll always be with you. Forever.
Let's move on. It's Royal Adventures for 8. Sleeping Beauty Castle can be found in these 2 Disney theme parks. Oh, of course, it's the original Disneyland park, but who has the other Sleeping Beauty Castle? In my opinion, it is the prettiest castle in any Disney park. Disneyland Paris is your other answer. Here comes the final clue of the 800s. It's Meet the Parent. That right there is a young image of Queen Iduna. Well, she wasn't a queen at that point, but she eventually becomes a queen, and she is a parent, of course, of either Anna or Elsa. Oh, no, she's a parent of both of them, but you could have said Anna or Elsa. 20 clues are down, and 6 princely and princessly clues remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack infused unnecessarily. Spotlighted part of the game, the 1,000-point round. Hit it! All right, folks, 1,000-point round begins with the final fan clue of the game. Let's check it out in the Prince and Princesses category. As I've mentioned a few times, the official Disney Princess website lists a total of 13 princesses. Out of the 13, only these 3 married into royalty without being royal first. And again, this is in their original films. As we take a look at the Disney Princess website, there's another giveaway here. All the princesses wearing gloves are the ones that married into royalty. So you've got Belle right there. She, of course, marries the Beast. You've got Cinderella, who married Prince Charming, and then Tiana, who marries Naveen. The others were either already royal, or we don't actually see them marry the character in the film. All right, that was a tough one. Here comes other looks for the final time. Who wore this outfit? That would be Prince Naveen from his wedding in Princess and the Frog. Here's Last Lines of Love, worth 1,000. I'm asking you for the 2 characters here. These 2 lines are said by 2 different characters. So who are the 2 characters? Again, they are each other's significant others. First line goes, you gotta get away from here. The response is, no, I won't leave you. Who are the 2 characters? Who are Eric and Ariel?
Eric, you've got to get away from here!
No, I won't leave you.
Here comes your final royal adventure clue. This is the only princess to appear on the stern of one of Disney Cruise Line's ships. Who is Rapunzel? And here comes your final clue on the board before Final Jeopardy. Let's meet the parent for the last time. Whose parent is this? That is Raya's dad. So there you go, 25 clues are down and only one remains. Just so happens to be the one clue that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself. How proud of yourself will you be? Hopefully you're walking around like that, like Ace Disney Jeopardy this week. For the next 7 days until episode 109 next week. What will episode 109 be about? That is the $1 million question. Just kidding, disclaimer, no one's getting $1 million because I don't have $1 million to give. But that is the big question right now. Let's find out by checking out the final category in this episode and the inspiration for next week's. Turn of the century. And the turn of the century I'm talking about is not the one from the 1800s to the 1900s. No, lucky you, it's from the 1900s to the early 2000s. So think about next week's episode as an episode dedicated to both the end of the Disney Renaissance, so let's say 96 through 2000, and the beginning of those, I'll say it, a little slightly dark ages, 2001 through 2006, we'll call it. So 96 to 06, that's what next week's episode is all about. It's the turn of the century. How well do you know that time period in Disney history? Make your wagers on your confidence. And time is up. Let's check out the final clue in this episode 108 of Disney Jeopardy. Matthew Broderick not only voiced Simba in The Lion King, but also played the title character in this 1999 Disney live-action film. Good luck. And time is up. I tried to tie it into the Prince and Princess's storyline or whatever topic of this episode by including Simba right there. Of course, he becomes the king of the jungle, king of the Pride Lands, whatever. Anyway, Matthew Broderick not only voiced Simba, but in 1999, the correct answer here is that he played Inspector Gadget.
You know how to dance, don't you?
Actually, I was taking lessons not long ago in the hope that
Shut up and dance!
Uh-oh.
And that does it for episode 108 of Disney Jeopardy. I hope you're excited for next week's 109, which again is all about the turn of the millennium, 1996 through 2006. We'll call it that time period. Hopefully you can study up, ask your history teachers to tutor you on all things Disney from those 10 or 11 years. I'll be covering movies, I'll be covering TV shows, I'll be covering events, I'll be covering acquisitions, all that fun stuff. So make sure you study up. And Club DJ members, you don't have to study up because you guys are already brilliant. I know it already based on a lot of the clues you're submitting on DisneyJeopardy.com. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being a Club DJ member. And thank you all for helping me make this show. If you want to go vote on the poll right now, there it is, your 3 options. What will be the category that you're quizzed on next week? That is up to you. I hope it's a close race. I like it better when it's a tight poll. Anyway, you know what time it is now. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe. Click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way you're notified when I come out with brand new content. By the way, a few people have asked me, how do you join Club DJ? If you're not a Club DJ member yet, simply click the join button under this video if you're watching on a computer. You do need to have a YouTube account in order to do so. Once you do so, you will be able to vote in that poll I have aforementioned. Thanks again, everyone, so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I can't wait to see you next week for episode 109. Till then.
Bye-bye.